Hey, everybody, this is Adam from Sons of Silver, and you're listening to Park Hills Underground Radio.
Hey, this is Kevin from Sons of Silver, and you're listening to the Midwest Mixtape Podcast.
I'm Alan Smith with the Midwest Mixtape Podcast and Park Hills Underground Radio, and we're now joined by Adam Kury, the bass player of Sons of Silver, and Kevin Haaland, the guitar player in Sons of Silver. How you doing today, guys?
Good,
man.
Awesome. So I know you guys have a new album coming out on January 10th, Runaway Emotions. How does it feel to finally have a full-length album coming out?
I'm excited about it. We've done a couple EPs so far, so to me, maybe that makes me old school, but I'm excited to put out a full length.
Yeah, I feel like in recent years there's been kind of a shift towards releasing EPs and albums, but I always like it when bands are still putting out full lengths. I really appreciate that.
Me too.
Yeah. So I guess let's just kind of go back to the beginning. What's kind of the origin story of Sons of Silver? Where did everybody how did the band kind of form?
Well, I mean, we kind of all...
Back.
What's that? Go ahead.
So I'll let Adam take that. He goes back the furthest.
Yeah, right. So we've all kind of known each other in different ways throughout the years. So I've known Peter for a long time. We've had a couple different things, and he was doing a solo thing for a little while, doing some acoustic stuff, and then he decided he wanted to make it into more of a rock band and add some players. So we got back together again, and he was calling it Pete RG at the time. And then, so we started bringing in different people and, trying to find the right chemistry. And we ended up bringing in Dave Cruzen, who's our drummer at that time. And through Dave, he brought in Kevin, who was someone he had worked with and stuff. So basically, it's all like, word of mouth, people you've worked with, people you dig working with. So, we've built a really good mix here, both musically and personality wise. And then, Dave went on and did some other things. He's not touring and stuff. And then we found Mark, who's been amazing. And so that's the new record has got Mark playing drums on it. And I think this one's really good. We're excited about the record, excited to do a full length, and excited that we're digging what the music is. And then, of course, let's not forget Brina. So Brina met Peter in a studio, and she's a recording engineer, and they got together, and they really hit it off because they married each other and have a 4-year-old now. So that went really well. But then Brina came in and started singing and adding keyboard parts, and she's got a great sense of melody and things. So we've got this really interesting dynamic where when we're working, it's just us, no outside producer. She's the engineer. We all work together. So usually she'll be in the control room. And so she's got that perspective to listen and hear what we're doing in the room when we're writing and throw things out there. And we've kind of settled into a really good combo with the 5 of us.
A lot of bands I feel like have keyboard players, but you don't really hear them on the record a whole lot. Like they're more used for live, to add a little bit of elements in there. But we listened through the record. We got an advanced copy of it, and it, there's a lot of really cool keyboard stuff on there. So
for sure,
she's definitely a valuable member there.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So, most of the descriptions I've seen for the band, most people describe it as neoclassical, but maybe for somebody that doesn't know what that means, how would you describe your sound to somebody that's never heard you before?
I don't know. I would just say it's a rock and roll band.
Yeah.
That's interesting. To me, neoclassical means like Yngwie and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That's like I've seen several people describe it as that, but
that's cool.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
Are they saying neoclassic, like classic rock stuff? Because we have a lot of those influences.
Yeah. I think that was kind of the idea.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, and I think it's pretty fair because our influences cover all of that. I will say, I think when we go in to write and things, we never set out to do anything specific, but either style wise or song wise. I mean, we just play things around until somebody goes, "Oh, that's cool." And then we expand on that. So we really just let it kind of flow as it comes.
so I listened to the album and I went back and listened to your first couple of EPs, and I'm guessing now that I know kind of when she came on, I'm guessing Brina kind of had a part of this. But that first EP, Doomsday Noises, kind of just has like more of a straightforward rock and roll sound. And then I feel like now with like Ordinary Sex Appeal and then the full length, there's you definitely add some more of those classical elements.
Yeah, and as it went on too, I think that the reason we ended up changing the name to Sons of Silver and away from the Pete RG is because it originally, Peter wanted a band to help him fill out some songs he was writing. But in the process, and you can hear that happening between those first couple of EPs, where we realized that when we got in a room together, we actually were really productive. So the writing style shifted in that as well. And then, yeah, of course, I think we were maybe the keys might have in the beginning might have been like a fill-in afterthought kind of thing. And I think now that we know that it fits, I think we always mentally leave space for it. Usually when we're writing, we don't have the keys going when we're writing. But I think we all think of what the keys can be doing now. It's become an important part to your point earlier.
So yeah, once again, the new album, Runaway Emotions, comes out January 10th. What's kind of been like the timeline and the process of getting this album together? When did you start?
Oh man, I don't even know. Do you know when we started?
I mean, it had to have been like spring of 2022, maybe. Was that right? It's a weird time frame. No, it had to have been 2021. We started writing, and then so we kind of got slowed down, obviously, because the pandemic and everything. And we were always working. So some of these songs had maybe started way back then that we kept developing. And then we went through a period, obviously, when we had lineup changes when Dave left. So we basically revisited everything we did, so we went back and then we realized we had this other collection of songs and we weren't intending on an album at the time, but just as we started putting things together, we realized we had enough stuff. And then we decided, okay, well, now we've done these in different batches. Let's go back and make sure that this sounds like a cohesive record. So we did some re-records of a couple of things. So it took a little bit of time. And with the pandemic, we weren't in any real rush because just now we're getting back to touring.
Well, and speaking of touring, your tour with Myles Kennedy and Tim Montana kicks off in January, but earlier this year you got to tour with Dogstar, which is Keanu Reeves' band. What was that like?
It was great. Those guys were very, very cool to us. The crowds were really cool to us. Couldn't have asked for a better experience.
Yeah. Is Keanu Reeves really as cool as they say he is?
Yeah. Totally.
Super cool. Yeah. Very laid back.
Very cool.
And, like I said, you're touring with Myles Kennedy. How does that feel?
I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I think it's going to be a blast. I mean, I know a couple of people in their camp. I don't really know Myles or anything, but I'm kind of excited because I think musically the Dogstar tour was right in our wheelhouse. And I think going with Myles thing, it's a little outside, a little edgy for what we do. But I think that we still are going to go, it's going to go well for us, I think. Mm-hmm. So I'm curious to see how we do in that environment, because obviously we know what it did with Dogstar and previous tours. So now we're into a new genre, not a whole new genre, but just a slightly different audience, which I'm excited about.
Yeah. Well, and also on that tour, Tim Montana, he's kind of got this like Southern rock, almost country thing going on. He's pretty cool. I did some photography for the barn when he opened for Skillet and Seether, and they came to St. Louis, and he blew me away. He put on a very good show. So
awesome.
Yeah, he's great. I actually spent some time with him this summer on another tour. They were out with us for a few shows, I think like a dozen shows or something. Great guys and a really great band. I thought they were really fantastic.
Yeah. Well, so now I've got to ask, if you could tour with any band in the world, past or present, who would it be? Well, what's your dream tour?
That's a tough one. I almost kind of feel like for us, for the style of band we are, and I know just knowing all of our influences and knowing this guitar player right here I'm looking at, I think Tom Petty would have been a great one for us.
Yeah, I would have loved that.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. Well, and I guess Adam, this would probably apply more to you. You're in Candlebox currently. What's it like, kind of juggling two different bands, and when it comes to planning tours and that kind of thing?
It's stressful.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I'm grateful to have all the stuff, and I'm fortunate to be involved in two great bands where I love the music and I love the people involved. But I'm always worrying about the logistics and overlap of schedules, which we did a little bit this summer. I had a crazy summer because the Dogstar tour overlapped with also a Candlebox tour. We were out with Bush and Jerry Cantrell and Tim Montana for a little while. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it was that part of the stress of it I don't enjoy, but I love. I mean, the more music I can play, the better. Like I enjoy all of that, so it's great.
Yeah, yeah, and and two, you've got your own life at the end of it all, but when playing music is your job, I'm sure you'll take as much of it as you can get, right?
Oh, of course. The old adage, "I'll sleep when I'm dead." You only got so many years on this world to do what you're going to do, and if you're enjoying it, you just want to squeeze as much out of it as you can, I think.
Yeah. All right. Again, the new album, Runaway Emotions, comes out January 10th. You guys are on tour with Myles Kennedy and Tim Montana. That kicks off in January. Is there anything else you guys want to add while we're here?
Is it January 10th? Is that the release date now?
Yeah, January 10th is the release date, yeah. Tour starts, I think, the 17th of January. Going to be coming around. Come out and see it. 3 great bands. Come check it out. Get the record. Listen to it. Love it.
Right on. I appreciate talking with you guys today.
Appreciate you guys
thank
having
you.
us on.